Las Vegas Discount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. Las Vegas Discount.net. Las Vegas Discount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit Las Vegas Discount.net.
No beat, but I'm spitting this heat with the rhymes I say to brighten the day. Yeah, busting the flow. I know that life can be difficult. Dealing with a hurricane.
Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
And lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with Whitey? He's a piece of crap.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
You are listening to Ken Norton on Fight Net Radio. And I've been thinking that I would come out of retirement just to knock out Lee Harnish.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Harnish, Andrew Labouche, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing. Is it wonderful, Andrew?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So, last night...
weren't you entertained last night, Lee?
I was entertained last night,
right,
but
there you go.
That's because I was hanging out with you and watching boxing. If I was watching it alone, would I have stayed dialed in? Because I had to tolerate some really, shitty undercard action. But I digress. This is Fight Net Radio. Go to fightnetradio.com, sign up, watch our stuff. That's great. We also have a YouTube page where our shows are converted to video during fight weeks, or big fight weeks, I should say. We do a broadcast with our fans where they can interact and comment. We also shoot our screen so you can see what we're looking at while we're getting ready. All you have to do is go to FNR Rocks. That's fnr.rocks. Sign up so that when it comes out, you have it. We also have international listeners who use that platform, so if you're having a problem finding it, you can either find the show on fightnetradio.com or you can go to FNR Rocks. Either way. But we want you to sign up for our Facebook page, click like, whatever. We appreciate you on all of the platforms. And there are a lot of you listening. So I'm appreciative. Are you appreciative, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Are you?
Why wouldn't I be, Lee?
I mean, you'd be happy doing this show for 10 people, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's what we do it for.
Sadly, that's not the number, but there are more of you for sure. This show is about boxing, occasionally football, occasionally MMA. So now you're up to date. Primarily, this is a boxing show. Usually we can stay on track. But I can get it off topic anytime I want I'll demonstrate by doing the following. Hey, Andrew, I'm really excited about the Raiders going to Vegas. What update do you have?
The NFL's preparing us for when gambling isn't full-blown here in America. That no call last weekend, and you guys are lucky Lee caught me a week. I've been able to calm down on the situation. I was going for the Rams, Lee, but the Rams don't deserve to be in the Super Bowl next weekend. That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I'm going to tell you how bad that call was. That call was so bad, my daughter had a friend over here that was watching the game with me. His name is, I shouldn't say his name. He's too young.
Is it a boy. Friend with air quotes around his name?
Yeah, it's a boy. And so I'm watching the game with them. We see the no call, right? And it's like, oh, that was disgusting. How could they do that? And I go, you know what? They did that to us before. Do you ever seen the Tuck rule? And he's so young, right? He's like, Tuck rule? What the fuck are you talking about? So I show him the play, the Charles Woodson, Tom Brady play in the snow, right? Where they got us with the Tuck rule. Lee, it doesn't look as bad as what happened to those guys. Like, matter of fact, it made me feel better about the Tuck Rule game. Like, I was like, well, that wasn't as bad as New Orleans. And I've been thinking for years now, almost 2 decades, that we've been fucked for that long. And just what happened to New Orleans, they're getting us ready. Lee, they're absolutely getting us ready for the gambling. I'm telling you, you guys, if you ever think they're not going to do this when all of America is betting on one team and they don't want to pay that back, you don't think we're going to get non-calls like this where we're almost numb to the situation now? It's pathetic. Can you imagine? And here's another one, Lee. Sure. Can you imagine when this happens in Las Vegas and say it is a sold-out game? 62,000 people are in that stadium in Las Vegas drinking, drunk, doing whatever other things they're doing, and you pull off a stunt like that. Can you imagine what the sports book is going to look like? I'm not saying all 60,000, but let's just say 10% of them bet on the other team and are pretty pissed off going back to the casinos. How many is that, Lee? People are going to be mad in that casino. You're going to have a lot of hot tempers. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to be fucked with the rest of the day. That was bullshit. That was the Super Bowl. That was the game. The game was over. Hey, you guys, Kroenke is thinking about suing the NFL. You see, he's losing his case. I've been telling you guys this for a while. He's losing the case in St. Louis big time. And guess what I found out, Lee?
What?
I can go all day. You know what the league had Kroenke, Davis, and Spanos sign before they approved their move? If they are sued by any of their cities, they will pay the court fees, the lawyer fees, and everything of the NFL, not only them. So Kroenke's mad. Kroenke said the league lied to him to get into that. Kroenke also hired Jerry Jones to now work his stadium, selling the suites, selling the naming rights, which Jerry Jones is going to start coming under the microscope here soon too, Lee, because he's doing a little bit too much with 2 businesses. That's for another day. Remember I said that, though. Kroenke is a powerful man. They don't want to piss him off. What I'm telling you guys, don't be surprised St. Louis, LA wins the Super Bowl. Do not be surprised. See, trophies heal all. And when you've got a man who now his stadium is $3 billion, and now you're telling me he's losing the court cases. He's lost, I believe, 3 appeals already to throw this thing out. He's losing that. He's got to pay the NFL. He's pissed off how long this court trial has been going over there, and he's paying both fees. So trophies heal all. He's the most powerfulest man. There was nothing else the NFL could do at that moment to say no call. You know, people, every time they tell you guys, oh, they're listening to someone in New York, they're attached to, yeah, those guys in New York are in their ear all game. All game. Go ahead, Lee. Take it on.
So that's an example of how we get off topic when it's a boxing show. Simple as that. That is my perfect example. So if you can tolerate that, you can probably tolerate this show. Andrew is a writer. He is a passionate boxing fan. I am a media whore who does anything to get clicks and likes. Pretty much, that's how it works. So we'll start right off. We're going to follow boxing scene. By the way, when you go to fightnetradio.com, it's going to take you to our Facebook page. Today we're going to follow just the timeline of boxingscene.com on Facebook. You should follow them. It's updated very well. It's done very well. Their website's done very well. We constantly reference them. So big shout out to Keith Eidick and the team at boxingscene.com. If I'm lucky, perhaps we'll get a typo today. But the reason I bring all of that up is because last night Andrew and I were watching the fights and texting each other back and forth. And it finally dawned on me why I have a problem with boxing. And I texted my theory to Andrew, to which he confirmed. So here was my theory and what I came up with. I've decided that people like watching... Now, I'm not saying all of you, so easy with your comments and all the shit that's about to hit me at fightnetradio.com, especially the regulars. I believe you enjoy boxing more when you see the style of boxing you like being performed on the TV in front of you. And that's what I texted Andrew, and Andrew goes, absolutely. So my style that I prefer, for those of you who don't understand, I prefer Emanuel Steward style boxing. Did I get it correct, Andrew?
Yes.
Emanuel Steward?
Yes.
Emanuel Steward, for those of you who don't know, or you're too young. My God, if you're listening to this show and you're too young and you don't know who Emanuel Steward is, fuck you.
You're so wrong.
That's like saying you don't know who Rocky Marciano is. So I predominantly like a style that is jab driven off of a big punch, right? Who does that mean? Who do I like? Well, you're talking about guys like Klitschko. You're talking about guys like Lennox. Anybody who works off behind that jab, right?
Yep.
And we know, you know this, Andrew, because you've been with me for so long, that one of my biggest pet peeves in the entire universe, right, are guys who don't work behind the jab, who don't fight that way. So, yes, historically, I like Tommy Hearns. Yes, I like watching, Adonis Stevenson. I like Andy Lee. I like guys who work behind their jab, who are looking to load up the big right hand and put it all down with one big punch. Is it a little slower and duller? Yes. Do I get a lot of knockouts with the style I like? Yes. So, Andrew, with all that said, we didn't have anybody who jabbed last night.
I was trying to get the connection there.
There was no connection other than me setting up this theory so I can start a discussion at fightnetradio.com, where you can start a discussion. What style of boxing do you like watching? Who is the trainer that you like watching their fighter? Because clearly my trainer is dead. So, and there's nobody who really, even guys who come out of the Kronk gym, they don't fight that style. They fight in the Mexican style. And when I say that, I say it generically, right? Sanchez, all of those guys train their fighters sort of the same way. I think the reason that Freddie Roach is so popular, I think he trains a Mexican style boxing, right? Sort of straight ahead, very in and out oriented, very punches and bunches style boxing. What do you look for when you watch boxing? Like any fight?
That's a hard one, Lee, because I don't really have a style. I guess you would say it was, Chavez was my favorite fighter growing up. He was more of a boxer puncher. So I like a style that can bring both. So I guess it would be boxer puncher, but I also watch boxing for how the fight plays out. To me, every fight is different. Every style, they say styles make, or matchups make fights. Styles make fights, excuse me. And it's very true. And I think in every fight, there's a different outcome. So that's what intrigues me to it. Now, when you're fighting a defensive wizard like Pernell Whitaker or Floyd Mayweather in recent years, you kind of know the outcome of these fights because these guys are untouchable. They go on a point system. But besides that, I think every fight to me is intriguing. As long as the guys are elite, I'm not. You've seen on the undercards yesterday, I wasn't too involved, right, with the first two fights on both cards.
Right. But and that brings up a more interesting story, right? How interesting is the story of the fight you're watching? Now, one of the big reasons why I watch boxing, even when it's shitty, if it's telling a good story, right, like it's a drama playing out for 10 to 12 rounds, I'm into it. Like, Josecito Lopez last night was not in his fight whatsoever. Make no bones about it. For any of you delusional thinking, oh, he remade his career last night. No, he didn't. He had a good round. I'll be fair.
Oh, you stop. You stop.
Well, you get my point, right? It was the drama of a guy trying to overcome a dude who was 2 sizes too big. It was a brawl, right? It was a brawl.
Yeah.
And he worked very hard. The Jaime Munguia Takashi Inoue fight, right?
Wow.
What an interesting fight. Like, did I ever think Inoue was in the fight? Fuck no. Munguia is a better technical boxer, and kept the dude on the outside. It was the style of boxing I actually like, right? He controlled that fight by dominating with a jab and keeping